Okay, just a quick update on what's going on around the place. We bought us a couple of tame blackberry bushes we're going to be setting out. I've moved some of my stuff outside. And as you can see, the okra and peppers seem to be doing really well. I'll go this way. These are tumbling toms. They're not doing quite as well as they should. Okra's doing well. Peppers are doing good. And of course,
around the corner you can't really see it, but where that aluminum colored stuff is at is where we have a rain tote at. That's a 275 gallon rain tote, and it's tied into another rain tote that's on the other side of the building that's also 275 gallons. When this one is empty, the one on the other side is 2/3 full, and they tie into the house, and we're also going to be tying them into a line that will allow us to fill them off the county water system if we need to. But it'll give us a total of 550 gallons of water storage. We also have our grills. We use that. We just recently smoked some meat on that. Our little tiller that we use from time to time.
And behind it is a mulberry bush that we've left. We're going to let grow. We like mulberries. And we did put an air conditioner in the pantry to cool it down and bring down the humidity. I can deal with the heat, but I want my food cool.
I got to straighten up the solar collector. Put a little light in the pantry. Most of our lighting in the house is all independent solar panels that operate little lights, motion detector lights that come on as we enter the rooms and stuff. Handyman should have mounted that up on the roof the other day when he put the air conditioner in, but he didn't get around to it. We have here a tank that we're going to make into a batch solar water heater, which will be supplying pretty much all of our hot water once we get everything hooked up and everything. Right now we're using a tankless LP water heater, but this will work, and the tankless water heater will work if it's needed, so they'll be hooked together. Then down here we have a hose coming out from our little portable washer that we have that waters this bed right down here that we've got corn and some melons and stuff in, and some peas.
My pumpkins are blooming, doing well. They need a little water. Corn is doing fair. Looks like a little bit of it's blew over. Needs to be weeded, but that's the way life goes. We do have a very tiny watermelon that is trying to do something, but just doesn't seem to be doing much. And this out in between the fences here was all grew up, and we had it cleaned out. So it gave us another probably, what, 8-10 feet of growing space.
Thinking about possibly putting in some fruit trees.
And then of course, Ellie, the wonder dog, she loves to be with humans. And my cabbage is not doing good. I might get a little bit off of it. Needs to be tucked out, but that's for another day. My lilies, they're doing so-so. And back here we have a couple of more mulberry trees that are we're leaving. Of course the mulberries are done now, but we got, I got about a gallon bag full of mulberries that I'm going to be making into jelly. And this is some tomatoes I had that weren't doing very good, so I thought, well, I'll stick them out and give them a chance. And they are growing. And of course my zucchini, they're doing pretty good, and
we have eaten some of them already.
As you can see, we do have some in there. I've taken 2 off of here already. The rhubarb, I didn't do anything with my rhubarb this year because we transplanted it, so I didn't do anything with it. Next year I'll start harvesting off of it. This fall, when it dies back, I'll get cow manure and put on it and then mulch it good. And then about the 1st of March, I'll rake that back and let it start growing. And that is a tame lilac tree. And then we have our bigger tomatoes. They're doing fair.
They are loaded.
There's
one's
quite a
loaded.
few on here.
This one's loaded.
Not sure how well you can see. My glasses darken when I get outside, so I'm never sure how well the video is going.
Got me on that one.
We have several big ones. And then our cucumbers. I didn't think they were going to do anything, but we have gotten a lot off of them.
We bought a cattle panel to use for a fence back there by where the dog was at, and I had to cut a piece off from it. So we cut it off and we put a couple of stakes up on the sides of the bed here, and we're using that for trellis for the cucumbers. And that makes it a little easier to get the cucumbers and stuff.
Yeah, we need to water. We're waiting to see if it's going to rain. But we do have cucumbers hanging in there. So, there's one. And then these are the black tomatoes that were the freebie from Baker's Creek. I planted these from seed. I've got to get them tied up. They're doing really well.
This is a trellis we made out of some of the leftover scraps we had from doing the lattice work on the porch. We try to reuse everything as much as we can and not waste stuff and not have to buy something every time we turn around.
And as you can see, we are getting little tomatoes on it. I do have some carrots down there. And this is our potatoes. And yep, he needs covered up, but there's a little one down there. And some of my vines are beginning to die back, so it may be about time to take them out. But we like small potatoes. And my strawberries, as you can see, they're producing and beginning to put on runners. So, they're doing pretty good. And out in this area out here, where these tires are, with the peppers in it, we're going to be taking the tires out and we're going to be setting
our berry
bushes in here. We're going to put some blackberries and blueberries. Peppers are doing so-so. I've taken a few off. This one is a purple one, and he is beginning to turn. Still lots to do. But, you know, we don't get no rush. Life gets in the way.
We did some cleaning in the shop this week, and as such, we've got a lot of debris out here that we've got to get piled up and burnt off.
And then, of course, the lawnmower.
Quite a bit of work out here this week.
Pushmower decided to quit, so now we're down to doing with the weed eater for now, and Papa can only go so long, and then he needs a break.
This is another cattle panel we put up on the other end of the yard for the dog, and a gate. And we've got another piece of it left that we'll be using for another trellis. That other area right over there where you see that foam mat by that workbench is where the other water tank is at. And you see a panel over there underneath the window that runs the light. Our solar panels are mounted on top of there and inside the room. We'll go inside and take a picture of that here in a minute. Inside the room is where we have our solar setup hooked up at, and you'll be able to see all that. The shop is pretty much, we've been doing quite a bit of work out here and cleaning a bunch of stuff up. It was real messy from all the work we were doing. The shop pretty much runs off-grid almost all the time.
It's getting better and better.
We added a little addition onto the back about 6 by 3 feet, just so we had a place to put hardware and tools and stuff.
And this is kind of unique. You have hammers on the outside, but I'm not sure which way it swings.
But it swings out away from the wall, and then you can see that it's got a bunch of stuff on the inside, and we've got stuff mounted on the wall behind. So it's a good way to create a little extra storage. And then some of the other ways we create extra storage is up overhead. Down here is where my drill bit is at, and as you can see, I don't have much storage area here. So what we did here was we built this box up in between the rafters for the loft, and that contains pretty much all of our drill accessories in there. We have a box on the other side that contains pretty much everything we need for our air tanks and air hookups. So we also use the rafters as a place to store stuff.
The little black back addition is getting
Out
work
here
done.
we just basically used the doors as the two side walls, built an outside wall and put a roof over it, just to create an extra place to store stuff. And we have a whole great big pile of wild berry bushes right outside the window, as you can see.
Yep.
Some of them are already starting to turn colors. I see one black one out there.
This was an added bonus we didn't know was back here. Oh, there's a lot of them turning.
Yeah,
And of course my honeysuckle's coming back.
but of course they're thorns, so I'm going to have to be careful getting those.
But yep, we have all kinds of berries out back here.
Yep.
And that was an added bonus we didn't know was there. So now, I'll get right back with you in a little bit.
We're also building in a dust collection system with gates in it to shut off for each tool so we can hook up for each of the workstations and be able to control dust a little bit better, because dust is always a problem in a workshop. We've extended the back loft an extra 4 feet and made it wider so we get more stuff up there. We're going to be extending the front loft wider too. It's only about 2 feet loft up here now. We're going to extend it 4 feet also so we can have more storage space up there, because you can never have enough storage space.
Okay, we'll take a quick look
Now we'll take a
inside.
quick look on the inside and show you a few things we got going on the inside.
And as we go around, I'll show you my beans. I've gotten quite a few beans off of it, and they're doing very well. And I have carrots down in there. But yep, my beans are doing pretty good. Okay,
We're now coming into our favorite room in the house. Most people call it a porch. We call it our favorite room.
and this is where I do a lot of my canning. It keeps the heat out of the house. The fan that's up over there is it can be run off of the solar. So we have free air out here. And just little stuff.
Go back to the grill. The grill is a Blackstone. It's actually a flat top grill, but we also have a set of grates for it so that we can put the grates on it to do the canning and stuff out here and not have to heat the house up. And a little bottle of propane will do an awful lot of canning and stuff and still not heat the house up, so that's pretty handy. We also have a small solar setup over here. You can see our small charge controller here, and we have a battery down and underneath. This is primarily what runs our 12-volt lighting in the house, as well as some chargers for cell phones, and runs a small fan in the house. Plus it runs this fan here, which really keeps us cool on hot days on the porch. And as you can see by looking around the porch, we have stuff growing pretty much everywhere on the porch. We're going to be enclosing this and using it for a greenhouse a little later in the year, so that we can keep at least a salad growing all year long.
And my geranium my daughter got me 3 years ago for Mother's Day. It's looking good. Now we'll come inside.
This is where we have a hookup so that we can, off that battery you saw outside, we could charge phones or laptops. We also have a little hookup here for a fan that runs and can cool off the kitchen when she's cooking. In the winter, this can be used to transfer heat from the fireplace over in the corner back into the back end of the house.
And yes, this
So
is
it's
what we
no
use to
purpose.
heat the house in winter, and it does an excellent job.
That's a vent-free LP fire heater, and it does a fine job of heating the place. The kitchen we've just about got done. I've still got a few countertops we've got to do. The cabinets raise and lower so they can come down to whatever height Mom needs them at, so that she can reach them. We're also working on building more drawers and stuff in to allow for storage for things like baking pans and stuff like that, cookie sheets.
I'll turn
All of her cabinets pretty much have drawers and underneath them instead of shelves, so that it's easy for her to get to stuff and pull it out.
And they pull out. This is my baking drawer.
And they're all full extension roller bearing glides.
This side has 3. This is my bags and storage. pots, pans, and skillets. And then down here is big skillets.
And we also have some over here in the alcove section.
This is also baking. It's mixing bowls, rolling pins, strainers, and sun oven stuff. We use the sun oven sometimes. And this is just general storage, pie plates and stuff like that. And baking. Then up
We have
here,
a section here with her Mixmaster on it. And if she wants to use her Mixmaster, this countertop actually pulls out so she can get her Mixmaster up front and use her Mixmaster and without having to pick it up and carry it over to the island or anything.
it needs cleaned. I've been putting it off.
There is a power strip here with plenty of electric here. The island is also electrified. It has an outlet in the end. We put towel holders on it for towels. But it's electrified so that we can use it for anything like a slow cooker or whatever.
And this is for my coffee area and storage.
That little box there with the white, with the switches on it is the controls for the lights. That controls the lights and the activators for the cabinets on this side of the house. And you can see the lights. Those are pretty much most of the lighting that we use at night. And it's free of charge because it's hooked up to that battery outside and it don't cost us nothing to use it. And of course in the doorway is our little solar motion activated light. We have one of those pretty much in every room in the house. We have two pantries. This is the small daily use pantry.
Oh, my spices.
Yeah,
We haven't got the door made
I've got
for
to
it
get
yet.
the door made for this yet, and we're making a cutout down here for a footstool to go in. This is the small daily use pantry. It has an automatic light that comes on when you open the door. This is where we keep the stuff we're going to use for the day or the next few days or for a week. And it has a cedar door on it which helps control bugs and pests. This is the big pantry
You'll
where
have
the
to
air
turn on the
conditioner is at. And we've been working on adding to it. We have a little light that comes on in the closet in here because the closet is full of getting full of canned goods, stuff that Mom's been canning.
You can't see it very well. But yeah, we do have canned stuff. It's kind of dark in here so you can't really see well. We have lots of, put another shelf up for that. I have a shelf here.
Two sets of can rotators here so that we can pick off the footstool that will eventually be stored in the wall. And of course we have sugar, snacks, flour, grains, powdered milk, rice, cereal, pasta.
And this is where the air conditioner is. We like a little bit having all the walls insulated in here, but it will be insulated. And of course I have storage over here for slow cookers, bread machine, dehydrators, canners, big roasters. So, now,
This is the addition we added on. We're not done with it yet. We've still got to do all the trim and stuff. But I'm making all the trim out of walnut, so that's going to take a while. But over in that corner over there, you can see our 3,000 watt inverter and our charge controller for our solar panels. We have two 12 volt 200 amp hour batteries, sealed AGM batteries, and underneath the outside here that power the inverter. That's a washer we bought that didn't work, so now we've got to get rid of it. But this is an area we use for office mainly, and we have a treadmill out here, the cat litter boxes out here, and I have some back problems, so I use an inversion table from time to time. And when we did this room, laid it all out, we put all the outlets up high because we're old people and we don't feel like crawling down on the ground to get to an outlet. So we have outlets mounted high up on the walls all the way around,
yeah.
so that we can get to all of them.
This area here is going to have shelving put into it for storage.
And here again you can see more of the solar motion lights out here. We really love those. Like I said, we have them in virtually every room. When that washer didn't work out too well for Mama, we ended up using the little portable one we had bought. The only difference we did is she used to have to move it into the bathtub every time she wanted to use it because of the drain and stuff. Now we have it hooked up to a hose outside so it drains automatically, and she's got her water hoses here so she can fill it and use it. This runs very well, and if we're off grid, it costs us absolutely nothing at all to use it because it's hooked up also to the rainwater. And the water from this goes into the bed outside where the corn was at and doesn't go into the holding tank, so we don't even have to pay to have it pumped out. We also built a cabinet in here for some long-term storage of extra pills. This is the on-demand LP water heater that we use. Love it, love it, love it. Best way in the world to go. Not heating water up all day long. We had to make a little cedar step to get Mom in and out of the tub because she had trouble getting over the ledge of the tub. And we put some decals in the bottom of it to keep it from being slick. So we do have some things we're still working on.
We're not going that way.
Back in the bedroom is just a bedroom, and we have a solar light back there, also a motion controlled light.
Yep.
That's also where the electric box is at.
Some of this
just catch you up to date on what we're doing and how things are going.
Some of this will be a little dark because of not flipping on lights as I go, but we don't use our lights a whole lot if we don't have to. But we've been staying busy, getting a little done. It's nothing fancy, but it's ours, it's paid for, and we don't have to worry. It's fairly cheap to live in. We can live on our Social Security and manage, so that's a good thing. And as you can see, I do have a few jars for canning. I buy these when I can find them at a reasonable price. These in front and the two on over there, I picked up yesterday at $5 a dozen. So, good deal on those. And my sewing room. I've got to get in here and get busy. And I like to have a little green in each room. So, but that's what's been going on. We hope you enjoy this, and we'll keep in touch with you. Thank you, God bless, and have a good day.